Welcome to another session with Mystiques Coaching. My name is Aneisha Campbell, President and CEO of Mystiques Coaching. And today I want to have a conversation with you about living the life you love and deserve. Here's an undeniable fact about me. I have been through some traumatic struggles in my life. Over the years, I have found 7 life suckers that prevented me from having the life that I deserve. Tell me if any of these relates to you. Mental and emotional exhaustion. Have you ever felt mentally drained from juggling responsibilities without any clear direction? I know I have. How about struggling with anxiety, stress, or self doubt? Now, do you constantly overthink your decisions, leading to inaction, or do you feel stuck in negative thought patterns? Life sucker number 2, lack of purpose or direction. Have you ever woken up feeling uninspired, unmotivated, as if you're just going through the motion, not knowing if you're coming or going? Do you constantly have these big dreams with no clear plans on how to achieve them? A sense of being lost or disconnected from your passion, values, or even life goals? Or knowing that you need change, but not really knowing where to start? Life sucker number 3, time management. We always feel like we never have enough time. Are you constantly falling behind your schedule with never ending to do list, or wasting time on distractions, but you feel guilty for not being productive? Overcommitting and struggling to say no, which always lead to burnout. Or do you feel that there's never enough time to focus on your personal growth or well being? Life sucker number 4, physical and emotional disconnection. Have you ever felt physically sluggish or unwell, but lacked the motivation to improve? Is poor sleep, low energy levels, or irregular eating habits affecting your mood? Do you struggle to incorporate healthy routines like exercise, mindfulness, or even self care? Do you sometimes experience emotional numbness or disconnection from your own body and needs? I know I have. Um, I remember being stuck in bed for like a whole week after finding out that I was pregnant and I was only 17 years old. And I was already struggling with a lot of not so nice things. And the thought of all the things that I'm already going through, and now I have to go and tell my mom that I'm also pregnant and I'm a teenager. It was devastating. So every day I came home and I got into the bed and I just stayed in the bed. I didn't talk, I didn't eat. I felt extra ashamed and I just disconnected myself from the whole thing. At one point, I made it kind of told myself it's not real, right? How can I possibly um, be in a worse situation than I was already in? So I know too well about life sucker number 4 and being physically unwell and just really disconnected from myself. But what I do know is the few individuals that really cared about me, they didn't allow me to stay in that state for long. So that's why you will always hear me mention having that community that is going to support you in the worst time possible, right? Not the ones that always show up when things are great, but at the worst time possible. So you'll always hear me discuss that in my sessions, in my lessons, um, when you do spend some more time with me. Let's move on to life sucker number 5, a cluttered life and mind. Are you living or working in a disorganized, cluttered environment that adds to your stress? How about feeling mentally overloaded with too much information and constant distractions? You may also be having no clear priorities, leading to a chaotic lifestyle. Listen, all of these, I could tell you a bunch of stories, right? But I remember one day, work was so chaotic. It seems like all of the customers called each other and decided that today's the day we're going to go in there. We're all going to have problems and we're all going to be extremely angry, right? So I had to figure out how to get through that day, right? So on my drive home, I'm thinking about coming home, taking my coat and shoes off. There's a bottle of wine chilling in the fridge, and I'm just gonna sit down. And before I do anything else, I'm just gonna have a glass of wine and de stress and let work go before I get into anything else. So I get home, right? Take the jacket off, take my shoes off, walk up the stairs, walked into the kitchen. And when I tell you my smile turned into a frown, whatever intentions the children had, it just didn't work. They took the garbage out of the garbage can and had the bag sitting in the kitchen, on the kitchen floor. They had whatever they used to make the food that they ate was still on the table. The knife, the plate, the paper towel, the dust from the bread, right? Or the crumb from the bread that they used. It was just really disturbing. So having a disorganized or coming into an uncluttered environment from leaving a stressful, work environment was really very distracting to me, and it really added to my stress. I had the intentions of coming home and just relaxing and drinking my wine and unwinding, and that's not what happened. I mean, I still drank the wine, but my attitude wasn't what I wanted it to be, right? So having a clear mind and having a organized space, it allows you to de-stress. It allows you to think a little bit clearer, and it allows you to not be in such a chaotic space at all times. On to life sucker number 6, unhealthy coping mechanism. Now, do you use food, social media, or binge watching as an escape from your stress? Do you feel emotionally reactive? This is where you struggle to handle difficult situations with clarity. How about experiencing self doubt, stopping you from making or taking actions, right? Now, I'm guilty binge watching. When I'm stressed, I'll take the whole day and I'll watch each episode, each season, knowing that I have to get up at 9 o'clock the next morning. Now it's 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, okay, one more episode, one more episode. While my eyes literally are closing, but I'm still up trying to finish it because I need to know what's happening, or what the ending is. Um, so I definitely do that sometimes, and it's not really the best way to do it because the next morning, listen, I didn't get enough sleep, and now my mood is not going to be the best to make the best decision, especially in my line of work. And when we talk about self doubt, I mean, growing up as a runaway high school dropout, I doubted almost everything. I didn't think I was worth much. I didn't think that people even thought I worth anything, right? But again, my community was wonderful, and little by little, different people helped me out of it. So, life, life sucker number 6, um, I do recognize self doubt and the imposter syndrome, and I really found a lot of techniques to make sure that I never ever be in that space again. And finally, life sucker number 7, feeling isolated and unsupported. Do you have a support or accountability system to help you grow? Do you feel sometimes like no one really understands your struggles, which cause you to feel alone? Or do you avoid asking for help because you think you should figure it out all on your own. Now, I know too well about feeling isolated. That's the main reason why I ran away. I just didn't feel like anyone understood who I was or understood what I was going through or even cared. Um, so, again, my support system, um, the people that held me accountable after I started getting my life together really helped me to grow and improve my life, right? So, um, feeling isolated is a natural feeling. Feeling unsupported is also natural. But we need a supportive community, a supportive system, people that are going to hold us accountable for the things that we say we're going to do, and also be able to just be there to just listen, right? And ask for help, right? This is where asking for help, you'll be so surprised of how many people do want to support you. So I know you're wondering, why should you spend the next few minutes listening to me, right? I'm a certified life and health coach, specialize in personal and professional growth. I've also done studies in psychology, mindset shift, and emotional intelligence. But most importantly, I've lived transformation firsthand. I was a high school dropout, runaway teenage mom with fears. I felt ashamed and a lot of uncertainty. But I turned my struggles into fuel, which made me the woman I am today. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm an author, and I'm also an entrepreneur. I am also an assistant store manager for a Fortune 500 company and president of Women's United Enterprise, a group of women who support each other outside of their 9 to 5. I officially decided to start my own coaching business about 2 years ago, but I have been unofficially coaching for over 15 years. I decided to be the person I wanted to take advice from at that time. I take risk, I test the strategies, and then I come back and share what really works. So, what will you gain today by spending some time with me? One, clarity and focus on your goals. Two, practical tools and strategies for success. Three, a mindset shift to boost your confidence. Four, accountability and support from like minded community. And now, if you stay until the end, I have a special free gift just for you. Do you remember those 7 life suckers that we spoke about before? I'm going to take you through some tools and strategies that's going to help you kill those suckers, right? We're going to dream it, we're going to plan it, and we're going to execute it. Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. And I really believe that statement. Everything around us was first a dream and then it became a reality, just like the system that we're using now, right? The technology of being able to connect with each other from our own individual spaces. So in definition, dream is a series of thoughts, images, and or sensation occurring in a person's mind and a strong desire or ambition for something to happen in the future, right? And how do you take that dream from thought to a physical state? You have to choose a goal. Now that you've chosen your goal, now you have to make it smart, right? And the SMART technique, broken down, basically stands for specific. S is for specific. M is for measurable, A is for achievable, R is for relevant, and T is for time bound. This technique keep you structured and allow you to measure and make sure that your goals can be achievable. And what worked for me, I decided to use a vision board to bring my goals to life, right? And I'm going to take a few moments just to share my vision board with you guys, all right? So now I got to tell you, I didn't revamp it for this year yet. So this is the current state. And I just want to review it with you a little bit. So I like to title mine, right? Mine says a vision, a purpose, right? Because every day I look at it, I want to be reminded of what my visions are and what my purpose in life is. And you can title yours whatever fits for you. I have different quotations, things here to remind me or to motivate me and inspire me um, as I look at these things. And I look at this every day before I leave out because some of these quotes help to motivate me as I leave the house to go on my day, right? So the first quote here it says, I write my own story because you do. Your story is your story. And as we try to do things like others, we have to remember that we are individuals. We're unique to ourselves, and our story needs to be ours. Your story needs to be yours. So I have that there. I told you I like taking risks, so I have break the rules here, right? Because without taking risks, you won't really find the truth in a lot of things. Um, I told you that I was a health coach. This is to remind me that I have to practice what I preach, eat my fruits and vegetables. Down here it says, the best is yet to come, right? These are just some of my quotes. And then some of my goals: work out 1 to 2 times weekly, right? That's there to remind me that I need to continue working out to gain energy. Here I have rich, selling my house. This is how I decided that I'm going to get rich, by selling houses. Purchase a two-family house. That's another goal of mine. And I put everything is possible. So, however you want to write it, right? However you want to put it together, put it on paper. You want to be able to visualize your success. You want to be able to touch it. I can't tell you how it feels to come and be able to take off one of these goals, right? So a lot of these empty spots, because this entire board was filled, a lot of these empty spots were a goal of mine. And this big spot down here was a cruise, a picture of a big cruise ship on the water glistening. The sunset was beautiful, and just seeing myself out there on the balcony, holding on to the hat because the wind is just blowing in my face. I actually have a picture like that. But it felt so good to come back because I've always wanted to take a cruise and I've never been. So last year, I actually went on a cruise with my family and it was wonderful. And the gratification that I felt taking that cruise ship image off of this board made me feel so productive, so successful, so achievable. It was just a great feeling. And I put simple things like schedule eye checkup and purchase new glasses, right? That I can take off because 2 weeks ago I went and did my eye exam and I got my new glasses. Now, why you think you would say, why do I need to put that there? Because sometimes we forget about the importance of doing things for ourselves. I know I do. And I was a year behind. So I should have done this last year. So I made sure I put it here so it'll force me and it holds me accountable every time I look at it and say, oh, shoot, I haven't done that yet. So I can actually take that off and say, I have achieved another goal. So my vision board is for personal and professional purposes because I want to make sure that I'm doing both. So this has really, really worked for me, and use it, try it, right? And then when I do the new board, I'm going to come back on another session and show you guys what it looks like and some of the new goals that I plan to achieve for this year. All right. So make it visible. Sometimes you can take even those post it on the mirror in the bathroom while you're brushing your teeth. Words of affirmation, things to remind you of what to do for the day, goals that you set for the day. So I really believe that um, a vision board or any tool that's going to allow you to visualize your dreams is important. It's going to help you take it from a thought to an actual goal. And then once you have this smart technique, you work at it, right? So when we decided to do the cruise, we planned it a year out, right? Because you have to figure out a lot of components that's within going on that cruise. Where's the boat docking from? Am I going to drive or fly to the dock? How much is the cruise going to cost? Right? How much do I need to save? And how much do I need to save? So all of those things was a part of the planning, and everything was on this board just to remind me of the things that I had to do. So think about using the vision board. It definitely worked for me, and I know it'll work for you. So now that we took your thoughts, turned it into an actual goal, you created a goal, you chose your goal, right? You used the smart format, and you're using your visual board to visualize it. Now we have to create the plan. Antoine de Saint said, "A goal without a plan is just a wish." And I've been telling everybody in 2025, there's no more wishing. We're not wishing anything. We're going to plan all of the goals that we have so that we can have a better chance of accomplishing them. So, a plan is just a roadmap to your destination, a strategy for achieving your specific goals. Three strategies that I use to make sure that I execute and achieve my goals. One, breaking them down into smaller chunks, right? Breaking goals into daily, weekly, or even monthly actions, right? And the way I look at it is you can't spell without learning your ABCs, right? You can't add without learning your numbers. You can't make bigger words without learning the smaller ones. So it's the same concept, right? So, however, you need to break it down daily, weekly, monthly, even if you wanted to break it down into hourly, right? I know that's a little bit extreme, but however it works for you, it's good to break it down into smaller chunks. Two, build in habits that support your growth, right? So I wanted to go on the cruise ship or take a cruise. What what do I need to do? Just go take the cruise? No, I have to create that habit that I need to make sure that I execute it. Every day I have to figure out what's next. Is Am I saving this week? How much am I saving? Did I do the research necessary to figure out where the ship is docking from? Um, are there safety regulations and rules? Do I need my passport, right? So, whatever it is that you're doing, you want to build that habit, that support what's necessary for you to do to achieve that goal. And three, using tools such as journals, planners, apps to track your progress is important. I use the Google Calendar a lot. My personal and my professional life is on that calendar. If I don't put it on the calendar, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to forget that I have to do it. So every little task that I have to do for work or for home, I put it on the calendar. I put a time on it so it just goes off, it alerts me. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I did that already. So now I could, cross that off or turn that alarm off. But it is necessary to have some form of system to be able to track your progress and to also hold you accountable. So great. Now you just finished with the planning it stage, right? You're breaking your goals down into daily, weekly, monthly chunks, right? Smaller bites. You're building that habit that you need to achieve your goals, and you're utilizing the tools such as a journal or apps or anything that's going to help you to maintain your progress. So excellent. So now we're in the executed phase. Thomas Edison said, "A vision without execution is just hallucination," right? And execution refers to the act of carrying out, implementing, or putting a plan, order, or strategy in action. So, this is the stage where we're going to take action, right? So, without this stage, nothing will happen. So, it's either you're going to continue standing on the sideline or you're just going to jump in the pool or jump in the water, right? We have to take action at this stage to execute the goals that we set for ourselves. And a few of the things that really worked for myself and the clients that I've been dealing with over the many years, I'm going to share some of them with you. So, mindset shift is one of the most important pieces, right? You have to believe that you can achieve these goals, right? And I'm just going to read the definition really quickly about mindset. It's a noun, and it's the driving force in the quest for success and achievement. A mindset that combines discipline, strength, confidence, and ambition is a powerful mindset. This can achieve anything it set its sight on. A powerful mind can achieve anything, right? So, knowing that what you think is what is, right? Whatever you believe is the outcome that you're going to get. Similar to when they say what you reap is what you sow, right? Because if you plant apples, you're going to get apples. You don't get oranges. And I truly believe whatever you think, however you see things, that's exactly what's going to manifest itself to you. So now that we've created the right mindset, right? You're in the right frame of mind. The next step is overcoming fears, self doubt, and procrastination. And how you do that is using words of affirmation and visualization techniques, right? Just making sure that you always talk to yourself in a positive way. Next, embracing failure as part of the process, right? Because without failing, you're not going to learn how to do it better, right? I remember when my son was younger, he was very fixated with the stove. He wanted to touch the buttons, he just wanted to touch everything. And, we're fearful that they're going to burn themselves. But guess what? I had to let him burn himself, right? So he touched the stove. He barely touched the stove and it burnt his finger. And now he felt the pain and understood why I was preventing him from touching the stove, right? And he became really, really good at the safety of the stove, right? I could have allowed him to make his own meals like hot dogs, um, mac and cheese, because now he was very cautious. Now that allowed me to teach him about the safety of the stove, and because he didn't want to feel that pain again, he paid attention this time. So failure is important. It teaches us what not to do and how to do things a little bit different or a little bit better. So don't run away from failing, embrace it. And then lastly, the mindset shift reflection, right? You always have to reflect back, identify and replace some limiting beliefs with some empowering ones. Sometimes we tell ourselves that we can't do things just because you think it's hard, right? But maybe if you told yourself you can do it, you'll be a little bit more able to do it. So I'm going to take you through a few. I'm going to show you. I can show you better than I could tell you. So maybe you can see it better on this side. Change your words, change your mindset. right? We want to go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And a lot of times we say, I'm not good at this. What I want you to do is change that thought, change those words into I can get good at this with effort and practice, right? And the key words here is with effort and practice. So, Michael Jordan is one of my favorite basketball players. And as great as he was, or still probably is, he practiced every chance he got, right? They practiced before the season start. He practiced days before the game. He practiced the morning of the game. And even minutes before the game, he's still practicing. And he's considered one of the best players. So anything that we want to get good at, we have to put effort and practice into it. We can't stop practicing, right? Another one, I made a mistake. Mistakes help me do it better next time, right? We just spoke about it. Embrace your failure. It's a part of the process, right? This is too hard. Everything is hard before it's easy. Wow. Everything is hard before it's easy. Back to school. You didn't learn how to spell until you learned your ABCs and the sounds and how to sound out the words. So everything is hard before it becomes easy. So we do have to put in the effort and practice, right? And another good one, they are smarter than me. I get smarter by learning more about it. And that's the truth. Whatever you want to know, you just got to learn about it. You just got to take the time out and invest in yourself and learn a little bit more about what you think you don't know. If you change your mindset, you can change your whole life. I'm proof. I am the physical proof of changing your mindset, which change your life. And this is exactly one of the tools that I use when it comes to making sure that we can execute our goals. And I know this is the last part of the Dream It, Plan It, Execute It exercise, but this is the most important part. I wanted to really emphasize that it's important that you change your mindset. It's important that you think of yourself in a positive way. It's important to see yourself as an individual and not try to do it exactly like how the other person did it. You may not be able to do it how they did it. Your timeline might be different from theirs. So that's why we have to be confident, we have to believe in ourselves, and we have to, use things that affirm us in a positive way and talk about these things in a way that makes us feel that we can accomplish our goals and replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. All right, excellent. We're going to move on. So we went through the 7 life suckers, right? That sometimes can suck the life out of you. And we went through the 3 stages of dream, plan, and execute. So dream it. We defined our goals. We chose our goals. We made them smart, and we created a visual area where we can see our success using the vision board. And in the planet phase, we created actionable steps. We broke down goals to daily, weekly, monthly actions. We're going to build habits that support our growth. You're going to use the tools such as journaling, planners, apps, calendars to keep you on track so that, those things will track your progress. And the execution phase is the action phase, is the do it phase, right? Develop the mindset for success. You have to take action in this stage, overcoming your fears, your self doubt, and any procrastination that you may have. And, using words of affirmation and using positive phrases. And also embracing your failures, using that as part of the process to learn what not to do and how you can do things a little bit better. So we have gone through the 7 life suckers, right? That could suck the life out of you, literally. And then we went through our dream it, plan, and execution stage, right? You defined your dreams and you chose a goal. Then you made them smart. You made smart goals. And then you create a visualization board in a form of a vision board. And we moved on to the planet stage and took some actionable steps. We broke them down, we broke the plan down into smaller pieces. Remember to build strong habits that's going to support your growth and goals. And don't forget to utilize those journals and planners, the tools that's going to help you stay on track. And then in the execution phase, don't forget that this phase is the action phase. This is the step that you need to take. And without taking this step, you're never going to be able to accomplish your goals and achieve the dreams that you want. You're never going to be able to overcome fears and self doubt and stop the procrastination stage, right? Um, and being able to utilize and embracing failure to be a part of this process. Awesome. Now that you've gotten through these tools, please use them to kill your life suckers. But do remember, if you need help, I'm always here to support you. You can visit my website at mystiquescoaching.com, where you can set up your free, absolutely free 30-minute session where I can look at your individual goals and needs to be able to assist you and help you to execute these goals. Thank you guys for really listening to me today and taking the time out to invest in yourself. I just want to tell you, you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. So remember, I told you that if you stay till the end, I would have a free gift for you. Book your 30-minute free session and I will send it right over to your email. Your personal growth roadmap. 5 steps on how to transform your life. All right? Soon as you sign up for your 30-minute free session, I'm going to send your gift right over to you. So hope you enjoy it. Thanks again. Talk to you soon.